So this is a video on how I turned a basic lesson into SAMR quality, or following the SAMR model. So the SAMR model, the first point is substitution, and your technology acts as a direct tool substitute with no functional change. So typically if I teach this lesson, it's 9.3 angles of elevation and depression. I typically teach this using a smart file or a PowerPoint, if not both. So I have just embedded a couple of my smart files. So here's my lesson. I might start off with some definitions. I may include some pictures for the students. I probably draw or doodle a little bit on the smart file or on the PowerPoint. I'll probably draw or doodle a little bit on the PowerPoint using my smartboard. So here maybe I've sketched a drawing for my students, but still I'm using PowerPoint and Smart. And then the expectation is really that the students still do the same type of assessment. So they're actually going to do a paper pencil assessment. They're going to answer these 5 questions, making sure that they draw their picture. So really no change. The second part of the SAMR model, augmentation, here the technology acts as a direct tool substitute with functional improvement. So what I've done is I've actually used Camtasia to record my PowerPoint. I then saved the video, posted it on YouTube, saved it in the My Big Campus library, and I also posted it on the student calendar. So this is just a link to show you that video.
We discussed yesterday in class that the angle of elevation is the angle.
So with this, I actually, when I substitute in or record a video, I try to use a different format, whether I use Smart File only or PowerPoint only, just so it looks a little bit different. So again, when I use a PowerPoint or a Smart File and I record it, I try to present the lesson a little bit differently in the video than I did in class. All right, the interesting point with the augmentation portion of the SAMR model is that we still use the same type of assessment or assignment to assess the understanding. So again, even though I've created a video, I would still require students to probably do a paper pencil assignment, draw me some pictures and things like that. The modification portion, the technology allows for a significant task redesign. So what I did here is I gave students a choice. I gave them the opportunity to use telegamy to teach one of the trig functions and incorporate an example. They were able to use explain everything to create a lesson on angle of elevation and depression, or they were given the choice of creating a quiz on My Big Campus over the lesson. So first thing I have here are a couple of links to the telegamy lessons, and I want you to see those. They worked really hard on them.
Of the opposite leg over the hypotenuse. And the opposite leg is in red, and the hypotenuse is in blue on this first example problem. And
here's another example.
Hi, my name is Graham, and this is my partner,
Jackson.
and we're going to be teaching you about lesson 9.1, tangents. A tangent is a trigonometric function that is the ratio of the length of the opposite side to the length of the adjacent side in a right triangle.
So an airplane takes off 15 degrees from the runway. The runway is 1,000 feet long and the tower is 280 feet tall. What should the air traffic controllers in the tower do? This is our angle of elevation. So those are the 3 telegamies that we created, or that the students created to present their lesson. I also gave the students the opportunity to use Erasmus. So for the redefinition phase, technology allows for the creation of new tasks that were previously inconceivable. Erasmus is just an augmented reality, so the students actually drew pictures of maybe what their problem would be, whether it was angle of elevation or just trig functions, and then they created videos that showed them solving the real life problems. The benefit of using The interesting thing about redefinition and modification is it allows you to replace your previous assessments. Our assessments that we created with this lesson were very creative. Some of the students came up with great ideas that I would have never thought of using technology. So it really gave them the opportunity to kind of expand and work with something that they were good at, the technology that maybe they liked the most. Several of my students chose technologies that they had never used before, which I thought was really interesting. So this is one of the auras. Now I actually saved it as a YouTube video just so you could actually see the idea, but each one of these students created a picture, and then their picture became their target, and they created a video as well. So the video is the overlay. So if you were to actually follow Zach on Erasma, or if you followed my Erasma channel, you would scan Zach's picture, and then you would see his video that he has created of himself solving this fabulous problem about the width of the hallway based on just a little bit of a trig function. It's excellent. All right, the last thing that I have for you is I found this on the web and I thought it was so awesome. So here are tools that are supposed to make SAMR easier. And it's so awesome because there are all of these apps off to the left for Apple, but I couldn't find anything that maybe broke down the SAMR model and helped us recreate it if you had a Dell laptop. So what I did was I just used some of the tools that I'm familiar with. So if you are interested in this, go ahead and take a look, and I'll make sure that we have a copy of this PowerPoint. But I just thought it was really neat that you know, they broke down the SAMR model using all of these different apps, and I just tried to model that using a laptop. Now, if there are any other tools in here that you guys use, please send me an email and give a shout out and let us know so we can all do better at creating lessons that reflect this. I hope this helps. Thanks.